And indeed, I hope this day is good. A beautiful piece there by the lady Ambassador Calvin Gaines Adam. And ladies and gentlemen, we'd like to say hello and welcome to Today Liberia Television on this Monday in January, especially the 23rd day of January, AD 2023. And this is the program, The Real Issues. And this is the first edition of the program, The Real Issues. And I am Thomas Blanswa. I'm here along with the lead presenter of this show, which I'll be bringing him on. But let's take a batch of this song and then we will welcome him on the show.
When you're planning just how it will take
And indeed, it's only God who do things for you. He lights your path and show you the way. All right, let's take this down. So now I have the pleasure to welcome on board the man, J. Cassius Wieto. He's the lead presenter of the program, The Real Issues. So Cassius, welcome.
Thank you very much. Good morning and a pleasant welcome those of you listening to us or watching us via our live Facebook podcast on the Real Issues. That is the program, the Real Issues, on your premium platform, Today Liberia Television area, and all parts of the world as well. I'm very chilled. I'm very glad that the first edition of this program, the Real Issues, is being brought to the audience live on this premium platform. The Real Issues have been formulated for so many activities, to discuss so many activities. The Real Issues is a program that have grown the minds of young people, young journalists, including I myself, to do things. First presentation of the program, Real Issues. The Real Issues is going to be coming to you every Monday to Friday. We'd like to apologize to you, those of you watching us. Probably in our opening of the Real Issues, you saw the video, the content of the video that says 8:30 to 10. So unfortunately, because to start a new thing is very difficult, dude. So we thought it was to really do some setup, to do some technical work, to bring you the happenings live on your screen, where you're seeing a beautiful studio from Today Liberia. Today Liberia is situated within Puebla Supermarket. It's a very beautiful studio that is multi-talented. So I'd like to say many thanks, Thomas, for this very innovative program that we have formulated to discuss issues. Thomas, is there anything we're going to be looking at that is into our menu for today?
Well, thank you, Cassius. There are actually a lot of issues to talk on today, and one of them is, we'll be basically looking at the opening of the sixth and final section of the National 54th Legislature.
Okay.
As you may be aware that each legislature has 6 sections, and that is every year we consider it a section. Every year we have 1 section. So definitely this is the 6th year because since 2018, this is the 6th year, so it's the 6th session of the legislature.
Definitely.
Yeah, so they've just resumed their 6th session, and pretty soon we'll be awaiting the annual message from the President of the Republic of Liberia.
We don't want to join the gun.
I'm gonna say something.
That's going to be a very special topic by itself. So we don't want to join the gun. Go into it.
So, but before that happens, so the legislature must convene their sections and then be able to usher in that particular process. So this is the 6th section of the legislature. So we'll be looking at, the second thing we'll be looking at is communication from 3 distinct lawmakers. So if time permits us, we will run through them adequately because we want to bring them to your understanding. So one is communication from Honorable Maramu Bien Fofana of District 4, Lofa County. So what is in that communication, we'll be looking at that, and one of it is also from Monserrado County District 11 lawmaker Honorable Richard Nangbe Kun. And there are a lot of issues that they raised in sections during this opening. They have to give us an update of their visits, of their break that they had. And the next is actually from Honorable Matthew Joe of Grand Bassa District 3. So these are things really we have to serve you breakfast today.
Thank you very much. On the real issues, it's going to be very stimulating. It's going to be very, very fascinating as well on this premium platform today, Liberia. So there you go. You listen to Tomox, who is the co-host of this program, telling you what we have on our menu to serve you today. To serve our audience, those of you listening and watching us, I like to say we gave you a 5 minutes of break where we're going to be getting the share from you. Let's get a thumbs up. This is an online platform that is bringing everything to you. So the easier way we know as to whether you are watching us via your mobile phone, via your computer, you are sitting behind the machine and watching us. We're going to say to you, the only way we will know that you are watching us and you are viewing all of the activities, let's get a view, the comments from you. Your views and comments are very key, the paramount to us here on this premium platform today, Liberia. Jay Cassius is my name. I'm the lead presenter of this program. As a matter of fact, today having to be the first days of the presentation. And is also here with me, a very, very talented journalist, a very fast young journalist, who is also my co-host of this program. So we're going to take a break, but before then, let's get a share of this program. Let's get views. We are looking at 20 and above viewers that will be watching us. Then we take a start of our activities. But let's take a very short break. When we come back, we're going to be diving into our topic that we're going to be discussing for this program.
Oh yeah. God has never forgotten us, and He will never do that. That He promised. So Cassius, welcome back.
Say welcome back to those of you that give us the share, the comment as well. I'd like to say many thanks and keep watching us on this premium platform today, Liberia Television. We are here bringing you all of the happenings of this premium platform. Today, Liberia is a regular online platform that is being brought to you to your doorpost. And then also the program Real Issues is the first day's presentation of the program Real Issues. We're going to be here with you every Monday to Friday, where we're going to be discussing Liberia matter, and we're going to be also be discussing the cross Liberia as well. So indeed, Thomas brought to you our menu today, and what's on our plate for today's discussion is the opening. Thomas is the opening. As you may be aware, the opening was done on the 16th, that is January 16th. That was last week Monday. The official opening of the sex session. We call it sex offender. During our high school days, we used to do sex offender.
Sex marking period test.
Yeah, sex offender exam.
Yeah.
It's the national legislature and the executive as well. Sex offender exam here. They're going to tell you who have been working over the past time. They're also going to be telling you those of you who have worked for some time now. Also going to be telling you that you are qualified to come back for another 6 years. And the good part about it is that you have to work for year 1 to year 6. And the same way in school, you have to work for first period and sixth period. And after that, you're going to do sixth and final exam. But the legislature, the national legislature, the 54th national legislature, and that of the executive, though, they work for a whole year. School students will work for, let's say, 9 to 10 months before taking a break. But this is where we are now. We're going to also be discussing the real issues on the opening today. The opening, which was done on the 16th, we're going to be discussing. Somebody will say, why this time? It's because we just resuming this program. So based upon that, we are very, very, very concerned about the opening. I having to be the legislative reporter, and Thomas also had an experience. Thomas was there also. He had an experience. He had a very good experience, and I told him, "Dude, welcome, brother." And he was always with us, and he understood all of the happenings at the national legislature, the 54th national legislature. So tomorrow we're going to be looking at the opening. One thing we're also going to be discussing the opening. There was a march, there was a parade at the official opening of the national 54th legislature. That's what is always being done for the opening. The first session there was a parade. The second session there was a parade. The third session there was a parade. The fourth there was a parade, and the fifth and the sixth there was also a parade. And the good part about it is that the representative and senators who are part of the 54th national legislature will always go and form a line that will be taking a parade from the executive marshal side, where you saw we're bringing you all of the happiness there. And you will see the armed forces of Liberia, the band of the armed forces of Liberia will always accompany them with a very brilliant musical sound from the executive marshal end, where when you reach at the rotunda, the entrance of the rotunda, there will be the hosting of the flag. The flag represents Liberia. The opening, the hosting of the flag, and after the hosting of the flag, the sergeant arms, the general of the sergeant arms, will give you that parade, and then there will be a divisive, where we call the divine of the group now. We're going to be divine this off, where you will see headed by the speaker. Will be they took their leave straight to their chiefs, the House of Representative chiefs, and also the Liberian Senate. The senators took their leave after the hosting of the flag. They took their leave and marched to the Liberian Senate chambers, headed by the Vice President of the Republic of Liberia, who happened to be the President of the Liberian Senate, Mana Dato. And guess why? This gun opening, it was back then I knew and heard the name of Mana Joe Howard Taylor to be Swakoko.
Oh yeah.
The protocol did said, welcome Mother VP, President of the Liberian Senate, Dr. Joe Howard Swakoko Taylor. So it shocked me, and I was like, wow. So that means she didn't having this Swakoko name. I'm not saying it's not something I've not been hearing, so it shocked me though. So this is it. the opening was very grand. There was a speech given by a representative, by the House of Representatives headed by the Speaker Bobo Chimox. There was a speech given, and what shocked me in the speech is that they were all praying for everybody to come back, Thomas. So we're like, wow. So and it happened at the Senate as well. It shocked all of us, where the Liberian Senate president, that of the vice president of the Republic of Liberia, spoke also and encouraged and also prayed for those that are going for re-election to be back. And you hear all of the amen.
Look at that.
Yeah, you hear all of the amen. So the 15 senators were very joyous, and they have to answer to that prayer. They have to answer to that prayer very, very strongly, because they are expecting themselves to be back. Though. And also the protein about Tube Chi also give a speech, a very brilliant speech that was very, very long to catalog. And into that, he also welcomed the Liberian senators, the 15 senators who are leaving, and also welcomed the rest of the 15 senators who also died. He also blessed the 15 senators who will be leaving here other than her men, because they expect themselves to also come back. That is the prayer for every other representative senators who are seeking re-election. So the real issues is going to be looking at this opening. Let's look at the opening. Let's discuss the opening. So this is the online platform. The only way we know that you are watching us, let's get a comment, partake into the conversation as well. Let's get your comment. Your comment could be the partaking of the conversation that we are having here on Today Liberia Television. So the opening was very grand. The opening was very grand. Did you watch the opening, Thomas?
I follow.
Yeah.
I follow portion of the opening, and I mean wherein the parade began, and going to where they all had to depart for their various chambers.
Okay.
And, I saw that, and even followed the Senate, wherein something that amazed me was doing the devotion.
Yeah.
The clergyman said that there are some people who will not become president, even though he was not specific, but
Yeah.
he did mention that this person has served 12 years of their life as in higher positions.
You are speaking of the right reverend that preached during the session.
Reverend Holder,
the opening,
right?
Yeah, Reverend Holder. You are
Reverend
speaking of
Holder. So that was something that I really captured, and I was so interested to listen to that.
Because he said, Reverend Holder said in the opening, the opening preaching, Reverend Holder said, he spoke on unity, and in the climax of the preaching, he said, he has been having this dream over and over. This dream has been something that is always marked down, that through this dream, God told him that one person who is seeking presidency in Liberia will never become president. And the senators were all curious to know who that person.
Yeah.
Because the dream is a dream that people foresee, other people foresee. So they wanted to know, not knowing. The Reverend could not call an individual name, but he gave some description. And based upon the description, people happen to know that this person is somebody that is well known in Liberia, though. So based upon that, they were all concerned. But it took a lot of platform, it took a lot of discussion. He was also circulating in the media. They have to treat him the way he's supposed to be treated by those who were not certified. They also have to treat him the way he's supposed to be treated in a good manner, very good. But those who are also certified. So it was the only thing that you were able to capture.
No, this man is someone I really admire. Even my time there, I spent a lot of time with him. Basically, because he's a guardian, and that's one thing I must say for sure. But then, all we have to do is to be able to look at it. Let's hold his words constant, and then see how it plays. Because that is a dream. Probably that dream may have a different interpretation. So,
Okay.
Yeah, and this is politics, and where he worked, he's working among politicians, so he should expect all of these comments.
Right.
He should expect to be treated even bad, more than that. But however it is a message, as he said, we hold him by his words until this interplay, because we're looking at the 2023 election basically.
Indeed is a dream. Indeed is a dream, and sometimes the dream comes to pass though.
Yeah.
And, sometimes the dream cannot come to pass. It cannot be a reality. So Thomas, let have you informed that this premium platform today, Liberia Television, is bringing you out of the happenings. It's bringing you out of the happenings here on the real issues. The real issues having to be the first day presentation. Let's say Emmanuel V. Sensi is watching us. Emmanuel V. Sensi is watching us. Edin Torres Batafoyan is also watching us. Like Christopher Weah Sion is also watching us. Indeed, those guys are very, very smart.
And Marik Bada is also joining us.
Yeah, Marik Bada is also watching us today. Let's know the location you are watching us from. It's going to be very good for us to also know the location you are watching us, because in our studio here, when you're watching us, we don't have to look at our phone, but we look at a very big screen that is sitting within the studio, and we know that you are watching us. So don't think that we are just looking through our phones. We are looking through our big screen that telling us who are watching us. So
Emmanuel Sensi is watching us from Nimba County. This is what he says.
Emmanuel Sensi, I know Emmanuel Sensi to be from Magidi County. Although of course he might be in Nimba County currently. So it's not bad. Emmanuel V. Sensi, he's also called Pasensi. He's also watching us. Many thanks for watching us, Pasensi. Your comments are going to be read here. Definitely, we must admit your comments are going to be read here. Somewhere around. He's watching us from somewhere around.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's forget about that part of the comments. Emmanuel says he's having to be one journalist who I also give respect to. He's one journalist. He also the CEO of Gibi TV.
Okay.
One of my Gibi County biggest online platform, Gibi TV. So Edin Torres Batafoyan is a journalist also from Cool FM. He's the sport journalist also for Cool FM. Many thanks for watching us, Torres. So this is where we are. We are actively discussing the openings. What could be some of your messages to the openings? Did you watch any other activities in the opening that did not satisfy you, or you feel it was a very grand occasion?
Well, I'm really not clogged with the responsibility to tell you how the opening should go.
Because the reason is that it's a constitutional mandate though.
Mm-hmm.
So based upon that constitutional mandate have to be performed.
Yeah, and that is what was done. So I believe they went according to the mandate or how it should be. So definitely, I believe it was. I mean, it was something grand, honestly.
Okay.
I did not have the opportunity to actually, follow the openings. I went there, just for a short time. That was during the special sections.
Okay.
So I did not really witness any opening. I've not had the opportunity, but I think via, our platform, I was able to follow the opening. That was great, honestly.
Thank you very much. And after the opening, it was the 16th, and the 17th was the first day setting. Legislatively, in session, we tell you the first day setting of the 6th session. Let's open it to you.
Mm-hmm.
The day 1 of the 6th session, the 6th and final exam, the 6th and final session. That when this session shall end well by the special grace of God, we're going to be going to the next branch of the next government, and if that is the CDC-led government, that is the Unity Party-led government, or whosoever, but is no more going to be the 54th. It's going to be the 55th.
Yeah, the 55th.
You will no longer hear the 54th. You're going to be hearing the 55th. It's going to be the first day setting of the 55th in the first session. I hope you get that.
Yeah.
And after the first session, that's going to be the year 2024 up to 2027 or 2029. 2029.
Yeah, 2029.
It's going to be 2029, and You also going to be hearing the first day setting of the first session, the second day setting of the first session. The setting does not change though for 1 year. The session, the session does not change for 1 year,
Only the setting
but the
do.
setting changes. So let's get it correct. We have the opportunity to be into the session. So we getting some legislative jargons. We getting some legislative method now. So as a journalist, we have to perform that. So the first day setting of the sixth session. If you had a communication there, you can also put the communication on the screen. Let those of the viewers that are watching can also view it to know what was on the agenda. Let's get the agenda. For those of us that are watching to know what was the first day setting of the sixth session. What was on the agenda?
I will bring that. I'm trying to load it, but yeah, I'm getting some problem. Yeah.
So let's take a break. Let's take a break. When we come back, we're going to be bringing you the agenda for the first day setting of the sixth session.
So let's take this break. Indeed, it's very, 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 very important.
Dean, we like to say welcome back. Technically, we won't be bringing you on your screen the agenda, but we're going to be discussing it due to some technical fault from our graphic, the strategic RT personnel who is here with us on this premium platform today, Liberia. So we have been technically advised that due to some technical issues, we will now be bringing you the agenda on your screen, but we're going to also be discussing the agenda. So the opening, as an audience who watching us, those of you listening and watching us on this platform, what do we expect from the National 54th Legislature? What do we expect for them now that we are in the final session, the final opening for this 54th and the executive as well? What do we expect? Do we expect a good for Liberians? Do the Liberians expect to benefit from other activities that we expect to enjoy the immediate of this country?
Okay, so Cassius, let's get something. I think I managed to get something here.
Yeah.
And that is this. So let's get it up. Wow. Okay, let's continue. I'm going to do some work.
Yeah. So do we expect a good from this country, from our leaders? Because they are our leaders, right? So we expect them, whatsoever good that's supposed to come in the country is supposed to be for them. But if not, we will suffer. So we give them the power to go and discuss, to represent us. I'm here from Magibi District 3. My lawmaker is representative.
So that is the communication, Cassius.
Yeah, so the communication, the first communication is from Honorable Maramon Bient Fofana of District 4, Lofa County, right? Honorable Maramon Fofana is the representative. In short, we call her the I. She's the I for District 4. Vonyama District, right?
Yeah, Vonyama.
She's the I for District 4.
Kwadu Bone.
So Kwari Bonnet as well. So she did this communication to plenary, asking, can you wrote it a bit, inviting. Okay, she was I got it. She was the host committee. She's the chair also on the host committee on education and public administration. She's asking for the indulgence of the honorable host to invite before its plenary. Can you wrote it a bit to know who that communications were going to?
Wow, unfortunately, we can't get that.
Yeah, so let's get it here. Like we told you, we'll not be bringing the food on your screen, but we're going to be telling you this communication, they have the OSR responsibility, Thomas.
Yeah.
So they goes there and perform their duties and tell you who's supposed to appear before them. A representative will send a communication inviting into plenary so person. So to come to the plenary, to come before the plenary and explain what this thing is not going on. But I believe this communication is from the educational angle, but we are finding means to see how best we can get that communication, so we can discuss it. Communication from Honorable Mariam Fofana. So we are looking for that communication. We are looking for the communication. But while we're looking for the communication, we are en route discussing about our Liberians, the benefit Liberians get from the lawmakers. Now that we are in the final session, that is the 6th session, right? And the first day setting brought in plenary 3 communications, one from Honorable Mariam Bien Fofana, Lofa County, she represents District 4, and the other from Honorable Richard Nangbe Kun, District 11, Mosorado County. Also from Honorable Matthew Joe, District 3, Grand Bassa County. Now that the communications have come into plenary, we're going to know, we're going to be following, we really want to know what is the benefit for the Liberian people. Is calling the people into plenary will be the benefit? Because we've been watching those, we've been seeing people appearing into plenary and ask what is the reason they are not doing what they're supposed to do in the interest of the Liberian people. And they will explain a lot, and then to find a remedy to such situation is always a difficult thing, Thomas.
Yeah. Because you know,
it's always a difficult thing. So do we say to implement these things is what giving you a hard time in this country, or what?
Liberia's problem is not really laws or policies, no, but it is implementation. Yeah, we have a serious issue with implementation of policies, and that we must be very clear here, because we have good laws, but we are unable to implement most of these things. So definitely, we have a serious issue, because it's like having a house, and without regulating such a house, it becomes an empty shell. That's what happened. Or a boy squad, where anyone does anything, and that is exactly the problem with Liberia currently.
Right.
Yeah. So implementation is a serious issue that Liberia has.
So Honorable Mariam Fofana, well, in your communication, she was inviting the Inspector General of the Liberian National Police to provide information on funding relative to the discovery of the huge catches of arms and ammunition. So she did that communication. It did not come from the educational angle, but she was so much concerned because although she represented a district, but she also represented a country. Mm-hmm. The country is Liberia, so she was also concerned about it, to invite into plenary the Inspector General of the Liberian National Police to come and explain to the Liberian people, because they represent the Liberians, right? They are being represented there by us. So to come and explain to us, to explain to them, and also the country, where the guns came from and how the guns enter in the country, and so if we don't do that, there will be a lot of violence that people will lose their life. So she did this communication into plenary. She had been one representative who is always vocal from her county, her district as well. So the question here we always ask to audience and listeners, those of you watching us, is the communication very important? Is the communication going to change our lives as the Liberians? Is the communication to invite into plenary these guys? Is it going to be? Are they going to make it better for Liberia and Liberians as well, or are we just going to be sending communications in the name of I'm applying my functionary detail? Is it something that we're going to be looking at always? And she's representative Marmu Bien Fofana, who did this communication. She's representing District 4 Lofa County. Just imagine she has been one representative who always vocal in plenary, who always discuss the issues, discuss the matter. And Honorable Richard Nambekun also have been one representative who always discuss the issues as well. He also had a communication. But Marmu Bien Fofana, who has this communication, but rather want to know, because this imposed fear on the Liberian people. So she rather want to know from the Inspector General of the Liberian National Police as to whether where the arms and ammunitions, where are they from, and who brought it. Do we do this to punish the perpetrator, or we just want to do it for the representation, to say we are representing our people? Thomas, what's your intake?
Well, I think some have been very vocal. Let's be real. We must give credit to those lawmakers.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
To the test and to be able to speak on behalf of their people. That is doing what you were placed there to do. And we must be sincere that the lawmaker's job is not to play a role. No. But it's to advocate for you to see that central government does exactly what it is to do for you. So now, if you are in the house, you cannot speak, you cannot make, the justice. You do not know your functions. All right. But there are some who are there on the basis of party mandate. They see the wrong, they don't speak of it. They know very well it will affect everybody, but because they're not directly being impacted by these things, so they don't care. But again, some of them are doing it now because they want to seek re-election.
Definitely.
Yeah, they have less than 10 months to go in office. So that is why you start seeing most of them becoming vocal. And some have been there, they've been speaking, but they have not really been speaking on issues that are affecting the people, but something that will benefit them at the time of their retirement. So these are issues we have to look at. Yeah.
All right. So we take a look at Honorable Richard Nambekun communication. There was a communication also sent by Honorable Richard Nambekun. Honorable Richard Nambekun have been one representative who is always vocal when he brought this. If you are now seeing some drinks having sticker. That sticker is the LRA tax sticker. That seal that you always see on style, other drinks. You always see that identical sticker, and also you are seeing that is also with the lawmakers as well. He was one representative who pushed for that, who actively pushed for that, and successfully through a communication. He has been vocal though. He has been one representative who always represent his people in the country as well, who is now going by and then Party Mende, and he's working to represent the country, the district, and moving on with other activities. So he was so much curious about having, what do I put on the plate for the final session, just the first day setting of the final session. What do I put on agenda? So he sat in your office. Collectively, he was to work up these things to bring it to the plenary, and after that, plenary see it necessary to see how best it can be done. So indeed, today Liberia is a television that is always bringing you all of the happenings. Like we told you, this is just the first day opening, the first day of the presentation of the real issues. The real issues is going to be here to your doorstep every Monday to Friday. We're going to be discussing the real issues. What are these things that we expect from our leaders? What are these things that that we want from our leaders. As a citizen, are we going to be a better driven citizen who just run to our leaders and request for a handout, or we want to see a better Liberia? So based upon that, we were able to bring to you the real issues, the burning issues that always burn our chest, that we're also going to be discussing. Is this something that is very key to us? Liberia going to be our concern. So another thing is that the long-awaited, Thomas, the long-awaited, where if an individual go to a lawmaker house for handout and the lawmaker does not give the handout, then you threaten the 2023 coming. 2023 coming. We see 2023 coming. So the long-awaited 2023 is here now. What do we expect as we finally open? What do we expect for the Liberian people? Are they going to make changes? Because some Liberians will always threaten their lawmakers who representing them because they did not receive a handout. Thomas, the long-awaited 2023 is here.
Cassius, this is something that we all must, admit to. The long-awaited 2023 is here. I personally have been one who have actually been telling people that 2023 is a time that you need to take your destiny into your hands. It's a time where you have to tell people whether what is going on, you like it or you do not like it. So if you are satisfied with the governance system of this country and you want it to continue, then you will go to the polls on 2023 on October 10th to be able to make such decision to validate that statement. And then if you still have problem again, seeing with the governance system and structure of Liberia, you will go to the polls and make the necessary changes.
Yeah.
Your voices will be heard. You have to make your voices heard at the ballot, not with bullets.
Definitely.
So sitting in the corner, speaking anyhow or saying anything won't solve the problem. But it is when you demonstrate, when you take your future into your hands, when you take the future of your children into your hands, by going to the ballot, by standing in that queue, no matter how long it takes, and then saying, I am tired or I am satisfied with this, I want it to continue, so I will cast my ballot for this person, then definitely we know that you are serious. But not just sitting in the corner on one attire shop and then saying a lot of things. Those things won't help you. Let's be sincere here. It's when you demonstrate. We saw in America, when the Americans were tired, they said they were going to the polls. They booted out President Donald Trump. The January 6th insurrection that took place at Congress, all of those things were validation. Because why? He was not satisfied. But the citizens were resolved. And today, that mandate or that decision is being withheld. That is how, people, or citizens speak to their government.
Is that the same thing you expect for Liberia?
No.
Do you expect change?
My brother, we should always expect change. Change is relative. Life as a whole is dynamic, it's never static.
Okay.
It's never static. That we have to be clear. So no matter what happens, change is actually expected. Cassius, change is expected. We can be satisfied with the governance system because we must push for the better. Liberia is still backward while others are living the 21st century dream. We are still living in the 19th century. We have not even approached the 20th century. Let's be real. There are a lot of things that Liberia is still behind on, so we need these things. We must put our government's feet to fire to see that, these things come here, that their campaign promises are being delivered. Cassius, I am still reading the NEMOT report on the president's performance, this government, in line with the PAPD. My brother, it is so frustrating. And I'll be publishing that on our website right after here. I'll be publishing that report on our website right after here. Because it's so damaging. My brother, I don't even want to speak to this because we have a specific topic. So based on this, we must hold governments or actors, state actors, by their words. They spoke something, they promised, they must be able to deliver. It is the deliverables that will tell us that give them to put them out. So it's now time that citizens be prepared to take the mantle in their hands. They should not be driven by rights. They should not be driven by cash. And I can tell you, Monserrate has started to leave because they saw some of these things and they said we will not take it. In 2 elections, the senatorial elections, in 2020, it was one of those things. 2019, 2020 senatorial elections, they decided, and honestly, their voices were heard.
Many thanks. Thank you very much. Today, Liberia Television coming live to you on the program, The Real Issues. The Real Issues is going to be here every Monday to Friday, where we're going to be discussing. And catch us again in the afternoon. Every Tuesday and Thursday, going to be the legislative conversation, the legislative talk as well on Jay Cassius and Thomas' presentation. It's now 8. Let's get it right. 9:48. Very shortly, we hope to close, to shut the door and get out of here, to be saying goodbye to this program, the first day presentation on today Liberia television. Elijah XB Moses is watching us. He's commending us for the job well done. So today we are here. Those of you watching us, I'd like to say many thanks and keep watching us on this premium platform today Liberia. Those of you watching us from the diaspora, I'd like to say good afternoon, good morning, good evening, wherever part of the diaspora you are watching us from. This program is going to be here always, and we also going to be seeking sponsorship for this program.
Yeah.
Do you support that?
Cassius, I support that 100%.
Yeah.
Because the program must keep running.
Mhm.
Yeah, the program must run. If the program must still continue running, and if it must be alive, we need sponsorship, because there are a lot of things that are needed to bring this broadcast through. It took us some time to be able to come up with this program after it was planned, it was designed, but the implementation, because we are being held down,
Of course, definitely.
yeah, with a lot of issues. There are barriers, and we can conquer them. Yeah.
Tom Williams J. Cody is also watching us. Williams, I'd like to say many thanks and keep watching us. Would like to say thank you for your comments as well, Thomas J. Cody. Many thanks to you for watching us. So we will be looking at the importance before we leave our cruising studio for today's presentation. We're also going to be looking at the importance and the role played by the electrics. Because sometimes the electrics do not know their role.
Yeah.
The electors do not know the importance. So they always threaten a representative who is representing them. I was opportune to take part in the Afropa meeting in November last year at the Fumiton, where representatives senators from various African countries. We had 23 countries, African countries that were here to represent their various countries, representatives and senators. We were opportune to talk to have some chat and interview with Senator Basit of Africa Coast, and he did tell us that the reasons sometimes Liberia is not developed, the reason our countries is not developed because of the mindset of the citizens. We expect when our head is hurting, we go to the lawmaker for assistance, and if the lawmaker does not give it to us, it becomes issues. Wow, can that be an issue for you? And then you start to threaten that lawmaker. Threatening the lawmaker by saying I will not vote for you. You will see 2023 is coming. That's the reason we said the long awaited 2023 is here.
Yeah.
The long awaited 2023 that people have threatened citizens, have threatened their representative, they are threatening the president, they are threatening the senators. The long awaited 2023 is now here. So the importance of the electrics. Do you really know that you are important to the representative, or you are important to the senators, or you are important to the president? If so, you do not allow yourself to be degraded. Because if you're having to leave your home and go sit to the representative house, you are degrading yourself. You are very important. We expect the representative to be care for you. By caring for you, that doesn't mean that you have to give him millions of dollars every day, but he must care for you to build that school within the district. The representative must care for you to build and to advocate to build that school. Invite Ministry of Education to tell Ministry of Education we do not have even 2 to 3 schools within my district. We need that school. For the Ministry of Education to be pressurized by them and to do the right thing. But then you do not do so. You jump and then go to the lawmaker expecting the representative to do a handout. After doing a handout as an electorate, do you expect Liberia to get better? Do you expect this country to go on the way you want it to go, and then you sit in a gasabu, like Makori was saying, you go to the Ataisha to discuss the issues. Is that important? Is that place very important to discuss the issues without remedying the situation? If you are not remedying the situation, the issues discussing will just be in vain. So the electors have to know their role. The electors have to know the importance. The electors have to move on to know the importance. Thomas, the electrics have to know their roles played in Liberia.
And that's quite true. We must know our functions. Being a person and knowing what to do and what not to do, gives you other advantage. You will notice that every responsibility has an accountability, right? But then once you are in a position, you are given a role to play, you are governed by rules or laws. This is what you must do, this is what you must not do. So, if you don't know what to do, you will do anything.
Of course.
But once you know what to do, you will govern yourself because you know exactly your limitations. You know what where to go. Things, privileges that you must have. Things that you must use. No matter what, you will demand them. Because what? They go with your responsibility.
Definitely.
So, but most of our people don't understand their role. That is why, actors or politicians treat them anyhow. But if they really knew, they won't sit down and allow people to just.
Of course.
Anyhow.
You have to know. You have to know your importance as an individual. You are taking part of the democratic. So this is a democratic nation we are in. So to exercise your political right, you must also have at the back of your mind that you are important as a electrics. But do not use yourself as a calabash because you need a handout.
Let's take something. It's like an employer going to the employee and asking for the employee's salary. That is how it is.
Of course.
We subject ourselves when we are the bosses.
Definitely.
We make them bosses. For them to know, Johnson Marshall said leadership is 7 say. He said you don't consider yourself a leader if you don't have people following you. So definitely, until you have people following you, you are not a leader.
Definitely.
So now, if I have given you the key, say, okay, take the lead and I will follow you. It doesn't mean that I cannot take back that key or that power that I have given you. I employ you, I can dismiss you.
Definitely.
And this is the time that have reached that we can dismiss those who we believe are not functioning, have not done what we entrusted into them. Or into their care.
Of
so
course.
Now, don't subject yourself that way. But people lack integrity in Liberia. I have said this thing, and people don't want to agree with that. What is their business? But we lack integrity. That is why we will just take anything. We will do anything, and we don't also care to even understand what's the outcome of it.
Definitely.
Yeah.
We don't understand ourselves as an electrics. We don't know the importance of ourselves in this country. So we take the remaining 4th meaning to dive into Richard Namekun communications. In our next presentation, we're going to be looking at Matthew Joe of District 3 Grand Bassa County Communication as well. Matthew Joe communication shocked me, and when I saw him on the agenda, I was like, wow, because he's one quiet representative who just said he was the terrain, and he makes input at time though. He makes input at time, but to do a communication constantly into plenary, he's not very good at that. But he look into things before getting communication into plenary. So the first day setting in the 6th session to get him on the agenda, I was shocked, and I feel that his workings have just doubled up. But we're going to be discussing that. But Richard Nambekun, who is District 11 Mosorado County representative, has been one representative who very vocal. He always like Clyde Mazakwat of District 3 Lofa County. There are people who in plenary, they make some great decisions, and they are not also just a sitting down tape. they are very vocal when it comes to handling the microphone into plenary. So let's look at his communication. He said, fellow colleagues, it was the first day sitting. You have to look at it. It was the first day sitting. Fellow colleagues, as we enter this election year, it is important. It is only important that we set a standard that could make the ensuring elections credible. To be this, to do this, we must act in ways that we will ensure that the free participation of all Liberians, like what we were just speaking of, all Liberians, because everything that the people do, they will always think about us. So if you know that you are the employer, you must sit and let the employee come to you. You almost like you going for the job application. Your boss is the employer. You as the employee, you have to go to your boss. But instead in Liberia, we go to our employee. We are the bosses. We go to our employee and ask them for handout. So based upon that, there will be no respect. So Honorable Richard Namekun was saying, as we are drawing to electionary period, we know further whether out of our employers, who are those employers? The Liberians, right? Who are those employers? We are looking at the Liberians. The Liberians are those employers. So he said the Liberians, to participation of all Liberians in the process, as granted honor the Article 77 of the 1986 Constitution. You see that? You know for the whether you will participate as an employer. Why will you degrade yourself? Why will you devalue yourself and start to run to the lawmakers because you want it from them? Their mandate is what will benefit the country. It's what will benefit the nation. It's not what you yourself will benefit. I believe in my own right mind that would not be something that supposed to be on our mind. But it's supposed to be the nation development should be our concern. The nation priority should be our concern. So the original Namekun had this communication. He said, he also said here, he said that this is, I believe, the problem of the people being denied of their right of constituting a particular district after a delegation is done. Honorable Speaker, okay, so he was discussing this communication, right? So now, Honorable Richard Namekun is always concerned about Liberians. In fact, he's one representative who people even don't think that he's a representative because he always done. You know that other representatives are very proud that, in fact, they feel that they are Jesus Christ.
Yeah,
they don't even allow you because of the job. We are not saying you do not have the right. It's your right. It's a constitutional right. We have given you the mantle. Constitutionally, we gave you the mantle. But you have to think about the Liberian people. You do not put your arm up and forget about us. That you know for the weather. After 6 years, you will still come back to us. You will still need us. So because of that, we also think in our own mind that these things will not help us as a citizens to always bow down to our employee. We the employers. Liberians are the employers. So after employee, that workers, you have to wait for 6 years. But then you have to see what are the works. What are the work they are doing in the interest of the Liberian people? What are the work they are doing in the interest of every citizens? So this is it on our premium platform. Today, Liberia Television, time have caught up with us. I'd like to say many thanks and keep watching us on this platform. We're going to be here every Monday to Friday in the morning from 8:30 to 10 o'clock. And from Tuesday, Thursday, in the afternoon, we're also going to be bringing you the legislative conversation, where we are also cognizant of the fact that every Tuesday, Thursday is the National Legislature working details and working area function as well. They will be in session. From there, we will always be bringing you all of the happenings in session, our podcast, and later we'll be bringing you our own analysis of the session as well. So that I've been Jay Cassius. Like we told you, we are seeking how do we call it?
Sponsorship.
We are seeking sponsorship for this program. As a matter of fact, this program is the The first day's presentation today, the real issues. We're seeking sponsorship. All those watching us from the diaspora, you want to be a sponsor to this program. We would like to appreciate you a lot for that. You can also in our next presentation, you'll be seeing the numbers on the screen. You'll be seeing numbers on the screen, and you'll also be communicating with us and the management as well, the business department as well, to know what how you can be a part of this program, choose sponsor. Also, we're going to be bringing live representative senators and other aspiring and business people, humanitarians as well on this program. We're also going to be bringing a lot of guests on this program, allowing to us and watching us on this premium platform. Jay Cassius is my name. I've been the lead presenter and here with
Thomas Blackswa. I've been here co-presenting and also producing this package of the program, The Real Issues.
Thank you very much.
All right, so before we leave Cassius, let's just do something. This is Today Liberia Television, and we are engaged into a lot of issues. You can visit our website, todayliberianews.com, or better still, on our Facebook page. We are engaged into money transactions, book remittance services, mobile money, and other things. And we are also engaged with printing services, printing of all kinds.
Yeah, definitely.
T-shirts and other stuff.
We are multi-talented. We are multi-talented business institution. We are not just Today Liberia. We are not just a media institution that hold phone in their hand, just be moving around. No. You want to do business with us? If you contact us, you want to see our offices. We have, if you come here, you will see 3 offices. We have our ministry, and we have our business department office. We have the finance department office. We even have the TL Express, the printing press. Pretty soon you'll be seeing TL Express newspaper. We also have the printing press office where you always like to do business with us. So, like you heard from Thomas, we have evolved into so many things. We're not just having fun in our pockets and say we are running our online platform. And I let you know that we have a very great CEO who is within the United States of America. He has been there for us as well. I must salute you as a very good CEO, the Chief Executive Officer of this all important, the noble institution. This institution that been around for a couple of years now. And, thank you very much for those of you. We encourage you for sponsorship. We're ready. We beg God for you. We take God to Nigerian people can say we take God and beg you. I don't know. Yeah. We take God back. So you can also think of it, and let's make this program keep running, because we use a lot of equipment that we expect, and pretty soon we'll also be getting in the street with the real issues. Our OB team will be outside there, the outside broadcast team will be outside there talking to business actors, and those of you in the street as well will be getting views from you on the real issues on Today Liberia, TL Express, TL TV, to know what will be your intake on the election and your business, how it's been running, how things going on. So that I've been Jay Cassius, I'm the journalist with the longest lead in this institution. I'm Jay Cassius, the Detroit, the veteran. We are to thanks very much for watching.
So that is it. You heard from the man Jay Cassius, and I'm Thomas Blackswa. So on behalf of the management and staff of the Liberia Television, TL Express, and the entire institution, have a blessed day, and join us on tomorrow morning 8:30. That we promise a starting time 8:30. For the program, the real issues. Until then, come on, let me leave you with this.
And a good day for me. Lord, I hope this day is good, and I'm feeling empty.
Like there wasn't coaching. I'm not saying it's not fair to be rude. Like there wasn't coaching.
2023. And I'm reaffirming this. I'm telling you, take it to the void by the grace of God, with the level of work that we're doing in this district, in all our different districts and sisters districts, right?
political play, you just still repeat the same thing. Do you think you can bring this Monserrato and when Dylan is here?
Oh, I can say to you for sure that Senator Dylan is history.
Well, you're gonna ask me, I say you gotta
yeah, including Jamaican guy.
Those errors that you made before, have you corrected them already?
I can say this to you. There's a difference between acquiring power and maintaining power. He has not acquired power. How does he maintain power is the question. Those things that undermine our victory, are they the same?